5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of Space Dogg, where we like to talk about funny life stories and upbringing. Guys, if you know anything about me, it's that I don't really watch sports, I don't watch football or anything like that. But there is one sport I love to watch. Actually, two sports. I guess it's a two-part kind of type deal. But I love watching MMA and I love watching boxing. I love combat sports. I wrestled for 4 years, so I definitely love combat sports. I love contact sport. Um, and this guy that I have, he loves it just as much as me because this dude actually competes in it. I've trained with this guy. This guy's beat me up before. We've beat up each other. This guy is a pro MMA fighter. Today we have Reckless Ryan Attebery. How we doing, my man?
Good. How are you?
Doing very good. Doing very good, man.
Yeah, those double legs. I remember them.
How's the family, man? Yeah. How's the family, man? We're doing with COVID.
Yeah, everything's good. Nobody's got COVID so far. My girl's sister got COVID, but
really,
yeah, but it's like they're not really like. My girl goes to work, comes home, so it didn't affect us at all. My girl got 2 weeks off of work from it, so she was happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, which kind of on the other side of that, my original Muay Thai coach actually passed away from COVID.
Shit, man.
Yeah, from here too, from Merced at 36.
Damn.
So he was a correctional officer, Shanky. Bro, he used to kick us like, it's just not cool. But yeah, so I've had the funny parts of COVID, and then of course the tragic parts. But as my family, we're good.
It's such a crazy thing that happened to the economy because like you didn't expect it to get so big as it got because we've had all kinds of viruses come in before. We had like that Ebola virus and nothing gets so big and crazy, but this thing literally shut us down twice now. So we've been.
Yeah, I feel like and I also feel like nothing's ever really got home, like got here.
Exactly.
It was all like other places and shit like that, but it's here. So
yeah.
I think a lot of people, me included, like I didn't take it. I didn't respect it. I'm not really the conspiracy theorist. Like, oh, there's no such thing as it. Not really like that. But it was like I didn't respect it to the magnitude that it was.
Me either.
Then,
I don't think anybody did.
Yeah, and then it started hitting close to home. It started hitting people I knew. I think the first one was like, do you hear about when like the first 34-year-old died? It was on like Joe Rogan. They're talking about it. He had just beat cancer. So the dude who runs my Madden league, I've been in his league since 2014, 15. And he actually, that was his classmate. So that was the first time there was someone like I knew who knew someone. And then I was like, okay, that kind of opened my eyes a little bit. But yeah, it's weird. It's definitely different. My day-to-day is not different, though. I mean, I work graveyards. I mean, if you can see the bags, I'm tired as hell right now. But I work graveyards, and if I train, and then I stay home anyway. So my life is the same.
Yeah, I feel it. Has it affected your kids like school? Is he doing Zoom or?
Yeah, he's doing Zoom. My 4-year-old, she really wanted to start preschool, so we're waiting on that.
Okay.
But yeah, my son, he's doing well with it. My son's, he's the king of adapting, so.
So is he sad that is he doing sports still, or is he kind of sad that everything's canceled? Or
he's boxing.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I kept him out the last 2 weeks. It was too smoky, and I'm not, if I don't want to be out running in it and doing shit in it, I'm not gonna send him.
Yeah.
So next week he'll be back on it. Soccer was canceled, which was gonna be his first year of soccer, which I was interested in because I never played soccer.
Yeah.
And then of course football was canceled. But
yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks. It sucks for all the kids going to school 2020. The younger kids that are like, "What the heck? This is school, and it's an email and computer."
Yeah, it was different than I expected. I expected it to be like one-on-one, maybe like home studies once a week, But like, nah, he's actually in school. Nah, it's like he's got his computer, and from 8:00 in the morning to whatever time he's in school. So
it's crazy. Is there distractions like at home, or do you like kind of keep that on lock?
Nah, we respect it. We respect his school. We respect his education. He's gonna be that first college graduate in my family. So he
Hey, I was the first high school graduate in my family. So.
Yeah, see, that's gonna be big for us too. Like I've had like aunts and like cousins do it, but like none of my brothers, none of my immediate family, my mother, my father, like none of them. So he's an athlete, so I was an athlete with all the gifts in the world. I actually could have done great things, but I was a knucklehead, so he's not that. So as long as you focus on school, athletics get you to college, your grades keep you in college. That's my theory.
I totally back that theory 100% because as a youngster in middle school like that, my stepdad he always asked me, "Hey, you should do wrestling. You should do wrestling." And I wasn't into it, because you know why? It's because I was a pothead. I was a pothead kid. I was hanging around with maybe not the best people, but they
My
just the Brett.
cousins.
They're good guys. They're good guys.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? But
yeah,
I was smoking weed and probably not making the best decisions in my life. And then it wasn't until going into my first year of high school. I don't know what changed in me, but I was just like, you know what, I'll try wrestling. And after that, I got a taste of winning, bro. A taste of winning and a taste of training. I never looked back, and everything I work hard. My toughness, my mental durability. I give everything to Golden Valley Wrestling because that's
yeah,
what made me. It broke me down and they made me the person I am today. And if life gets hard for me, anything, I just remember I'm like, these motherfuckers made me run up a hill and made me get up at 5 a.m. And go running. They took me to wrestling camps. They took care of me.
yeah.
They fed me when I didn't have food to eat. They trained me. Um, and it was hard, And if I could deal with those hard times and during the hard times of training, I could deal with anything in life.
Yeah. So
So
I wonder if that helped you because you started late. So for me, I was really baseball was my thing. So I from young age, from like 8 years old, I started playing travel ball. Now I'm talking about like we're having like 3 or 4 practices a week. 5, we're 8 years old. We're going to LA every weekend. We're playing. By the time I'm 10, I'm playing baseball in New York. So very competitive and very how do you say, like pressure, like a lot of pressure. Like we're 9, 10 years old at that time. Coaches like, you little motherfuckers, you got to get your heads up. Like it was real.
yeah,
So like
yeah.
we're playing against MLB players, kids, and beating them. But I did that up until I was like 14, 15. But I'll do that and kind of like I had a rocky home life. So I wonder if and I won a lot. Like how you said you got addicted to winning. It was like winning was normal.
Oh,
Like
okay.
so like championships were normal. It was kind of just like, cool, here's another one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I always wondered if that kind of affected me in the way. That's why I went the other route when I got a little older, because I had done this forever and had to deal with all the little ghetto shit. So but yeah, so I wonder if that kind of just broke the, like, like I did it so, when you do something so much, it just gets watered down.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. I feel it. I feel it.
yeah, so I feel like that's why it took some time, and then finally really started training and going hard, because I was like, okay, so I don't know. This is random thought.
What was the point in your life where you sat down, you looked in yourself in the mirror and was like, I want to train MMA for the rest of my life and I'm going to be a pro fighter and maybe get into these big organizations?
So basically it was like, cause I trained off and on all the time. Of course, money. Like for the first time, I started having my own money, my own place, my own ride, like my own car. Cause a lot of times, like with my son, I've had custody of him since I was 19. He was
Mm-hmm.
6 months. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I had no money, so it was kind of hard riding the bus from Delhi to Merced, finding babysitters. Excuses. So it was probably 2016, like the year before I made my debut, is when I got back in it. I was just, I didn't want to go to work. I didn't want to, like, I didn't feel accomplished. I feel like my window was closing. I knew I could do it. This is the only thing I wanted to do. Like my brothers would call me the living room champion because they're always fighting at home, playing around and shit,
Yeah.
So it's like, I just like, if I'm gonna go for it, I gotta go now. I still feel like I'm wasting time. I mean, I've had some injuries, but other than that, I still feel like I'm wasting time. But it was after I got in trouble, really. But that's when I made the decision, like, yeah, I put my head towards that. So, yeah, a lot played into it to answer the question.
No, yeah, I'm sure it did. And I'm glad that you did make your MMA
Yeah,
debut, man, because I love watching you fight. I love training with you. You're fast as fuck. You're tough as fuck. You're fucking a brawler. You're fucking crazy. And
yeah.
now you're more technical after you did some boxing fights. Tell me about how the boxing experience was and how you got into that as a whole
Yeah.
after MMA.
So I was supposed to fight Mike Howard, the elusive Mike Howard. Now I say that, but it's one of those weird fights where we're supposed to fight 3 times already,
And it hasn't worked
or
out.
2 or 3 times, and it hasn't worked out. And neither fighter's pulling out.
Yeah.
It's like the organizations are doing it with COVID or some shit, you know.
Oh, okay.
Um. So basically, I was in shape, and I was like, "Fuck, I wanted to fight." And then somebody offered me a fight, and to be honest with you, he's the one I'm taking shots at on Facebook. I don't like now that I met other promoters and I see how he's doing it and I see what he's doing, like the dude's getting people fucked up. He's a you know, he's doing his job, I guess, but I see what he's doing and I don't respect it. But he called, he's like, "Hey, I got this fight, 2 weeks notice, Oregon. We'll give you like $1,000, pay for everything, do all that." I was like, "Cool." And I was like, 135, that's cool. You know, I fought at 135 before. Dude was a monster, like a 6-time Golden Glove winner. But I think the size difference kind of fucked with the referee because he kind of hit me, but it kind of just knocked me off balance. You know, the size difference, like pushing me down. And the ref was like, "Nah," you know, stopped it. So that I didn't get to experience it really then. But then in December, that's when I really got to box. And I boxed that dude who had his own gloves. You know, he had a lot of dudes, you know, repping him. And I held my own, man. I went in there. I learned a lot, man. Be patient. Keep your hands up. I learned I could take a boxer's punch, too. So next time I fight a boxer, I'll have that confidence to where I didn't want to go out there and just get flatlined.
Of course.
MMA fighters don't hit the same. They just don't. Like when a boxer hits you, you're kind of like, you've been hit by Mike Alonzo in the body. It's just different. It's just different. A different punch. It's a different punch. So I didn't want to just jump in there and get murdered. So I kept my hands up, learned a lot of patience. So my next fight, I plan on implementing my game plan and knowing I could do it. And like I said, they offered me a guy who's more my size, 130. So yeah, I learned a lot from it.
Man, you're so crafty in there when I was watching you box, man. Especially if those guys had more fights than you and those were your first 2 fights. You're really crafty in there. That just shows your ability to like.
Yeah, I've never.
Yeah, that just shows your ability to like be comfortable in there and just fight. And that's why I think you're really good at MMA and boxing in general. But you're sneaking and hitting this clean body shot and boom, you get out of the way. And that was so clean, man. I was like, oh shit, like damn, he's crafty in there.
I worked on that the whole time too. Like the whole I said the whole time it was like 3 weeks, but I worked on that sparring like for like 3 weeks the whole time. But the one thing I regret was I was seeing that so well. It's my vision. My vision's very well, but I kind of miscounted opportunities. So if I would have slipped one of those and just threw a hard right hand with his momentum coming, like I could have did damage. The body shot was cool. That was more so me like, this is what I want to do. I want to get this, you know. Because for boxing, so in MMA, it's like I get all the pressure when I sign the contract. Then I go to sleep and I'll like think about it and shit like that. But for boxing, bro, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm not a boxer. Like, I have no amateur boxing fights. I have none of this. I'm going there to get paid, get experience, and just have some fun. You know what I mean? Like, these dudes are sending me to Oregon, sending me to Hollywood. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not getting hurt. I mean, I hurt my hand, but that was punching him. That's different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just freaks. That's some freak shit. But, so, like, Phil don't like it. But, to me, I see the good in it. I know what I want to get out of it. Like, my left hook is natural. Like, man, I got so much good out of it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to ask you that because you did bring up a good point. You said when you were signed an MMA bout agreement, you were like, oh, I'm nervous about it. I'm thinking about it days ahead. But did you feel like when you did do a boxing, you're like, oh, this is just fun. I'm going to have fun with it. Did you notice did you notice training was funner or, you know, do you feel the same in both training camps?
So for me, I'm one of those people, like, if I have something to look forward to, like if I have a fight, I'm training. But I kind of get complacent when I'm not. Like, I'll go today. I don't want to go today. I'll go today. I don't want to go today, which is bad. I know. But that's what I'm using the boxing fights to kind of stay in shape. Like, I fought 2 times in 4 weeks in boxing. I fought November 16th, and then I fought the month later.
Damn.
So it's like, and now I'm actually signed to an international promotion now.
Yep.
Like, I could be fighting in Philippines now. Like, they're going to be making sure I don't make no less than, like, a certain amount now. Like best money, too. Best I've been paid, other than Bellator's offer. Bellator was a good offer. But,
they said that boxing is a money sport, though. You know, there's always going to be more money.
And I'm taking it for what it is, bro. I'm not a boxer. Like, after the fight, they're like, who are you? Like, how many fights have you had? Because I held my own against someone nobody wanted to fuck with.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So they're like, who are you? How many fights you have? I was like, oh, no, this is my first, like, real boxing fight. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they're like, what
but, I was boxing first. Like I grew up boxing first, and stats like my brother. So I've been getting punched in the face by him my whole life. These fucking guys my size. But boxers crack different. If you watch the on All Star Boxing, he has me in the corner right in the second round, and I'm kind of stuck there. It was my inexperience of boxing, so I'm just like I took a knee, and when I took a knee, he smacked me in the back of the head. That
Oh
was actually
shit.
the punch that had me dizzy. And then the ref stopped it when I was standing up. Like I was standing up blocking, but even the announcers were like, the ref is supposed to give him 5 minutes, but just the man in me, I wasn't gonna take it away from him.
No,
That's
yeah.
what he. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. Like I told the ref, he ignored it. I let it go.
That's the
You know
thing
what I
in
mean?
boxing too. Sometimes those punches kind of slip behind the head, and you,
Yeah.
you can you can never tell, or you can
Well,
never
I
be
was on
like,
my knee. That was the issue. I was
oh,
actually
you were
on my
down.
knee.
You're down
Like I
fighting.
was physically on my knee.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. And
Oh
I was the
shit.
heaviest punch. So yeah, like I was literally on my knee. But
No point
like
deduction. No nothing.
ref didn't even see it, bro. Didn't even acknowledge
Wow.
it. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
the announcer seen it though.
Hmm,
Yeah,
that's
so
that's just
but I just took it for what it was. It was a good payday. I bought,
yeah,
my car had kind of just messed up by like a couple weeks before that, so I bought a car. So I did what I needed to do.
yeah,
Got
of
a
course.
free, got a free trip in Hollywood, who I've never really spent time in. You know,
Yeah, heck yeah. That's
yeah.
so
So
cool.
I'll take it for what it is. Experience. Like I'm gonna be better in MMA because of it.
I think so too. I can't wait to see your
Yeah,
next MMA fight.
yeah. Even when I'm boxing, I'm still training MMA.
Yeah.
I'll just go to the boxing gym and spar some boxes every once in a while. like
Yeah, of course. That's like the best thing
yeah,
to do is switch up your training routine and not
yeah.
just kick like that.
Yeah. My vision and my defense isn't bad. Like I don't get hit in the face. Like I'll get hit in the forehead and shit like that, but I rarely get hit in my chin. I rarely get hit clean, so I'm good with it.
Yeah, for a lot of people that don't know us or anything like that, I used to train with this guy back in the day. We used to beat each other up and stuff like that. Um, I noticed that there were some big holes in my game too when training and stuff like that. And I think it was just moving forward and pressuring too much, or maybe just being too timid and not throwing
Nah,
punches.
nah, 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 nah. That was the first thing.
Which one?
Moving forward. So what I realized, we have a wrestler who we're training with now, and he's very good on the ground. Like his shots, you can't see him coming, but even when he's getting beat up, he has that constant like moving forward. So he's just taking punches and taking punches, taking punches. Like you wrestlers need to learn to just sit back a little bit. You know what I mean? Let them come to you. Let them, because when you're coming forward, especially because like you're Chilo side, so you're finding Chilo
Yep.
who's a he's like a Nate Diaz style to where it's like pop, 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 pop. He just
Yeah.
keeps
Yep.
touching you, keep touching you. And when you move forward, that's gonna keep happening. So I believe a lot of the wrestlers, they just keep moving forward. And it's good to a certain extent. When
No.
you have
Yeah.
someone
Go ahead.
you go ahead. I was gonna say when you have someone who's not when who doesn't care that you're pressuring them, who's comfortable with it, then it's like, but yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that you gassed yourself out super fast too. Um, I kind of I did have a good, I think I had a good gas tank. I'd like to say I would, but yeah, if you're moving pressuring your opponent and stuff like that, I just wanted to hit someone. That was my thing. I
Yeah.
wanted to hit and let's fucking get into it. And
It's
punching is
just
so different. Yeah, because you gas out your body, you gas out your legs, and you just get gassed out super fast. You can't do that. And now being out of it, and I see it, I feel like if I did get back into it, I think that I'd stay back and
yeah.
probably look for some
Yeah.
openings and try some
Yeah,
new
you'll
stuff
be
out.
you'll be more patient. You're always gonna be able to sit back more when you're not doing it and think about it. Like all I kept thinking about was like checking leg kicks. I've been checking leg kicks. Also too, it's like because what I liked about you is you would throw everything. You would throw a kick from the right side, a kick from the left side, a kick, stuff like that. And that's all with like really little stand up training. You know, what what boxing's taught me too is I do a lot of unnecessary movements. Like I'm the boxing taught me to just slow the fuck down.
Yeah,
So
heck yeah, I bet. Yeah.
yeah,
And I have these boxing things at my house and stuff like that. I got a heavy bag that I kick and stuff like that. And doing that and like learning the movements and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, I have to get lower. Like I have to get low and
yeah,
the
yeah.
head.
You have to use your legs.
Yeah, you do. You have to squat and get down
Yeah,
and
that's why you're getting tired because you use your legs. See, I'm like opposite than you though. So like grappling gets me tired hella.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'd always
so
be
it's
tripping
like,
that.
yeah. So but like striking, like I could do it much like, I could do it. I could go even when I'm
Yeah,
tired. I can kind of strike.
absolutely.
But the grappling, it's like fuck. Like I got some nice submissions though. They're sneaky. My submissions are sneaky. Like the armbar I sent you with Chilo. But yeah, that was the only thing. It was like fuck. If you take me down, it's like if I don't catch you in that submission right then, it's like it's gonna be a long day on the ground.
You're crafty. Yeah, you're a crafty guy,
Yeah.
man. Crafty,
When
crafty
I'm
fighter.
small, I have to. I'm not gonna outmuscle you. You're bigger than me, and your technique was levels above me. So it's like I gotta set something up. I gotta catch that. I gotta catch that right timing choke, or I'm gonna get punched in my face on the ground for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I remember.
And
I remember
good night.
training you. I think you had a fight coming up in training, and then your brother too was told me he's like before we were sparring, he's like, "Oh, don't go easy on him," because I was a little bit timid. We was barely starting. We'd go timid. I was timid on each other.
Yeah.
Didn't go super hard. But he's like,
Plus, I'm fighting everybody.
yeah, but he's like, your brother was like, "Don't go easy on him. Don't go easy." So I just took you down and just kind of beat you
Yeah.
up.
No, it is. Yeah, it is what it is. That's why. That's what I love because I had a bad ego, especially being a white kid where I'm from and trying to fit in with everybody else and doing all that. So I had a bad ego. So MMA is good with that. Like I have no ego. Like I'm perfectly fine. I don't feel no less as a man. Like if I go in the gym and get beat up and I come home, I'm like, oh fuck, I got beat up. Like it's all a funny game. It is the same. I swear to God, it is the same thing as you going outside and playing me one on one in basketball.
I agree. I totally agree too. And
Yeah, I want to fucking win. So, but it's the same sport. It's what it is to me.
I've lost so many times in wrestling, and you can't get like salty, and like you can't get salty because like if you do, you in wrestling, if you go to tournaments and stuff like that, you wrestle from fucking 7 in the morning till sometimes late at night, and if you lose the first match and stuff like that, you're still gonna have consolation rounds and stuff like that. So you're still gonna wrestle all day. So if you're still salty from the last match, you're not gonna perform well on the other one. So if you lose
Yeah,
the first one, yeah, it sucks. I'm not gonna move. I'm not gonna get the gold, obviously, but I can still learn and do my techniques and everything I learn and just have fun throughout the day. So
yeah. Go out on a high note.
yeah, exactly. And I've lost some big matches in my high school career too. Um, I didn't get to go to state. That's a big thing like that.
Yeah, yeah,
I've made it to masters 3 times, and it's like and I think this is why I like DC so much because I can relate to him because if you watch Daniel Cormier, he didn't win his big fights. He lost to Stipe Miocic again, and he lost to John Jones again. And
yeah.
that's why I relate with him so much because I went to Masters and I didn't go to state, and I went 3 times and I just didn't make it to state. So that's why I really like DC. He's one of my favorite fighters just
Yeah,
because he's so
that's why
relatable.
you gotta. Yeah, that's why you gotta take all that regret and put it into MMA. They're like, yeah, bitch. Yeah, because the thing about it is wrestling is so good for MMA. It's the best base to have.
I
Because
agree.
once you have wrestling, you dictate where the fight goes. Then you gotta add jujitsu so you don't get submitted. You know what I'm saying? Like then you add boxing. Like for example, Josh Koscheck, he trained out of Fresno. He was so good at wrestling that he stopped training. He's from Ultimate Fighter 1. He was
Yeah,
so good at wrestling that he stopped training wrestling for a whole year and did nothing but striking to try to catch up, you know?
yeah, I
But
feel it.
yeah.
It's so crazy because strikers are so dynamic nowadays. Like you see in the UFC or even Bellator, like um, it's kind of like I think Jorge Masvidal set the blueprint for like how to beat wrestlers, but that's like 1 in a million chance that
Yeah.
5 second knockout. But and Ben Askren was kind of just dived in for it too.
Yeah. If
But
you do it though, like you may not catch it in the first 5 seconds, but like when it's a pure wrestler, the opportunity is always there.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, because the first reaction is like to stick the
Yeah,
hands out or to
yeah,
stick the hands out to where like a striker, you rush me, I'm just gonna kind of move.
yeah.
I'm just gonna get the fuck out the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who do you think are some of the best fighters in big promotions right now?
Mm. Yeah, people are gonna try to talk shit because he got pops for steroids, but like when I think of like like just great all around fighters like T.J. Dillashaw, um, like who do I think is great or who like I'm a fan of
You're a fan of, or yeah, not the greatest,
or
but like who's just like
yeah,
your favorite fighters? Like, oh yeah, I can watch him all the time. I watch his old fights.
Max Holloway for sure. Of course Nate Diaz. I was actually on the Izzy train really early. And LJ is a big fan of Whitaker, so of course we've been seeing that fight happening for a long time.
Yeah.
But my main fighter is definitely probably Nate Diaz. I mean, I could go for every weight class. It's like for 125. I'm interested in that Cody Nola.
Yeah.
At
Tell me. Yeah.
125.
Tell me from 125 and all the way up to heavyweight. Who are your favorite fighters?
All right, so right now since Cody is at 125, I'll say Cody No Love. Yeah. Then 35's TJ. 45's Max. 55's. Are we counting Diaz as a 55er or a 70?
Well, that's a hard one. He's a 70-pounder at the moment, right?
Yeah, but he's had more fights at
Oh,
55.
55, yeah. You could pick Diaz.
Yeah, so I'd go Nate. He's a 55er to me, that's why.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'd go Nate. 170. Like right now, probably George. I
Jordan
mean, it's
Masvidal.
kind of like yeah. But I've known about George since Strikeforce because I used
So
to
have I. Yeah.
yeah, I used to watch Nick Diaz and Gilbert Melendez like when they'd fight.
Yeah.
So of course you learn about all the other dudes. Then middleweight Izzy. 205's Bones, but you know I'm a hardcore fan, so I've been watching Bones since he's been beating up Brandon Vera and like Stephen Bonner.
Yeah.
And then heavyweight, I'd say DC probably DC.
DC?
Yeah.
Yeah, for me I got in my flyweights I got 125er. I got Joe Benavidez. He's a classic guy.
Yeah. No, I'm a big fan of him too.
Yeah, it sucks that he lost to Dave Figueiredo. So I like Joe Benavidez. 35 is my all-time favorite, Dominic Cruz. And then 45s, I like Max Holloway. I think that it sucks that I feel like he really got robbed in that last fight.
Oh, not only did he get robbed, but I would have won $1,000 with that decision.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I like Max Holloway at 45s, and then 55s. I like Justin Gaethje at the moment.
I would have said him too. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Justin Gaethje ever since he fought Michael Johnson. I was like, damn, this dude's real. And then 70s, Jorge Masvidal. That dude's had a fucking hell of a 2019.
Yeah, he really did.
Middleweight, I like Darren Till. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, see, I almost picked Darren Till for 70s, but he's a middleweight now.
Yeah.
I like Darren Till a lot.
Darren Till, and then 85s, and then heavyweight, right? 85s, heavyweight?
205.
Oh, 205. That's right. 205s, I like Dominic Reyes.
Yeah. He's good. He's one of those athletes turned fighters.
And then heavyweight DC. So that's my guy.
Yeah. Well, who's your favorite woman fighter?
Woman fighter, I like Yana Jędrzejczyk. Yeah.
You know it's crazy too, because like I don't even like, a lot of people when you think you like a woman or something, they're like, oh, like she ain't even cute. Like, bitch, I don't like her which I mean she looks how she looks, whatever, she has her moments, but like that bitch is a killer. I mean, call her a bitch, but like I mean that with the utmost respect. Like she's a fucking killer. Like she's a son of a bitch. I fuck with Rose too because I have both those. Yeah. It's weird, you know what I mean. So like I have both those personalities. Like I got that humble, like hard background, but I got that fuck everybody, one too. So I like them both. I fuck with them both.
Yeah. That was
a
crazy fight between her and that Chinese girl, Zhang Weili.
Yeah. Zhang Weili's a beast.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the main? Oh, that was Colby Covington, right? Was the main event on that card?
I believe so. Who did he fight that time? Was it
Usman, right?
Was it Usman? Yeah.
I think
did they fight on the same card?
I can't remember.
So. Can't remember. Yeah. The same card. They might be. Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you like Colby Covington?
As a fighter, you know what? I'm gonna be real because I've seen some shit about Colby Covington. I know what he's doing.
Yeah, me too.
So it's like I don't. The real Colby Covington, who he is, like not the medium one. Like if you see like there's people who've recorded him like without him knowing, and like him talking to like people, like he's a normal fucking dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just he knows what he's doing. I think the Colby Covington everybody else sees is like to me it's like a WWE persona.
Yeah, I agree too.
It's a very Chael Sonnen-ish.
Yeah,
like,
I think
everybody thought Chael Sonnen was this douchebag, and then he does the Ultimate Fighter, and they're like, "Oh, this guy's pretty fucking cool, actually."
He's a cool guy, yeah.
Yeah, and if you see the way Colby Covington like talked to that one upcoming fighter. I don't know if you've seen it. It was just on the side of some Mexican kid. And they're like,
Vera?
No. It was like a fan.
Oh, it was a fan. It was a fan.
Yeah, but like somebody caught it on their phone. Like somebody else caught it.
Oh, Kobe talking to
Yeah,
that kid. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
I seen that.
yeah. And then he's like, I can't do that. It don't sell. He was about to get cut from the UFC.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah. So as a fan, I don't like his character, but
yeah.
it doesn't. I'm indifferent. I guess is the way to say it. I don't care either way.
I
I'm
that's I
I'm
said,
not political, so all
yeah,
that
yeah.
political shit doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me either, honestly.
Yeah, like
But
I'm aware of the politics. Like I pay attention just to be entertained or just to be like to know what you're talking about when you're talking about it. But I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't give a fuck who's like. I know Trump's the funniest president, but other than that, like I don't care. Like
yeah,
my life's the same.
yep, I agree.
It doesn't affect my people.
Yeah, getting back into MMA and fighting. How's training going at the moment? And how you feeling? Your body feeling good?
Yeah, actually, my body is feeling good. I'm sore usually the next day because we don't have a coach right now. Well, we have Chilo, who's a veteran, and we have Justin Lin, who's a veteran. But Coach Phil, he's relaxing while the COVID thing. Once the second wave hit, he was kind of like, whoa. Even though it was just us, because like my Muay Thai coach that passed away was his close friend. Like
Oh,
that
damn.
was his. So he used to train us in his garage.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, so all those leg kicks I would hit you with, like that's all Shanky. That's all like his teachings.
yeah,
So yeah, so he kind of just chilled. So we're really just in there fighting, but we're not. Nobody has the ego in there. You know what I mean, Chilo? I will start throwing punches at each other, but as soon as that bell rings, it's cool. So
yeah,
we're doing a lot of light sparring. We're doing a lot of like live, like we're doing boxing with takedowns. We're like, you know, we're doing a lot of fight situations. We're fighting, but
yeah.
controlled. We're controlled. So a lot of the, you've seen the video, that couple videos I sent you. So so we're popping each other. We're good. My body's holding up. My legs are a little bruised. Inside those fucking inside kicks. There was a kickboxer there yesterday. He was kicking the shit out of me. Plus with Chilo kicking me. So
Heck yeah.
yeah. I've been checking kicks, man. If somebody throws a leg kick at me without shin guards, they're gonna be in for it. Because in my last fight, I got hit with the leg kick and it kind of turned me a little bit.
Oh, did it?
And I remember seeing that, and I was like, "Fuck that! I look like a bitch right there."
Last time I sparred, I got dropped by body kick.
Oh yeah, that's cool. That's a regret too, bro. Right when the fight started, hit the dude with a body kick, and I never threw it again.
Yeah, that sucks. The body shots
Yeah,
hurt.
yeah. Body shots are the worst. You can punch me in the face all day. I got that retarded toughness. Like I'm just gonna keep
Yeah,
coming. That body
yeah.
shots. I can
It
take
changed.
one, two, that third or fourth. Especially if you like Mike Alonso hides them.
Yeah, it changes the way you like the fight too,
Mm-hmm.
because you're like,
Yeah,
oh shit.
now you got to be aware of that.
Yeah.
Like that's why they say like you always hear like the body opens the head.
Oh, it did.
That's why,
Yeah, it does.
yeah. If I would have had more confidence now, like now when I was slipping, I could go to the body and the head in boxing now. I wouldn't really slip that hard in MMA. Maybe against my next guy. But he's a grappler, that's why someone's talking shit. But in boxing you can do it, but in MMA, if somebody's good like me, like I'll see that shit. So I'll set it up in like a minute. I might throw a jab to get you to move and head kick you.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, you don't. There's a lot of the things you don't do in MMA. I'm not doing in boxing either because I don't want to develop even more bad habits. So like my next boxing fight, I'm gonna be clinching them. I'm gonna
Oh
be
yeah.
on them. I'm gonna be on them. Like I'm gonna fight. Like I ain't gonna sit here and try to play your game. We're gonna make this bitch ugly.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens.
Alrighty, let's talk about some current events. So this news recently popped up about I talked about Robert Pattinson on my last podcast. But Robert Pattinson tested positive for COVID and it stops the whole movie production of the Batman. And it's crazy because if you test positive for COVID and everything, it just stops everything dead in its tracks, man. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. We've had some big opportunities taken away with Bellator. Chilo's had a big opportunity taken away. It's crazy. This COVID ain't no joke, but it's better just to deal with it, I guess. I mean, better safe than sorry.
No, yeah. It's so crazy because I feel like a lot of big movie studios and like things like Disneyland and shit like that, they're taking big hits because they're not having
yeah.
they're not having people come in and do that. Movie theaters
Yeah.
are like, I don't even know if movie theaters are gonna exist after fucking
Yeah, and they
COVID.
still have bill. And, they still got bills. They still got to pay that. You know what I mean? They still got to pay that monthly fee. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you watch movies or do you keep up with movies or anything like that?
Yeah, religiously.
Yeah,
Like all me and LJ do, we're all movie quotes, bro.
movie
Yeah.
quotes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, bro. From the dramas to the comedies, everything.
Heck yeah,
Yeah.
heck yeah. I feel it.
Yeah, one of my favorite shows actually was stopped because of COVID. Snowfall.
Really?
Yeah, so season 4 is supposed to drop this summer, but because of the COVID, they can't finish the last half of the season.
Last half. Damn,
Yeah,
that sucks.
so we're stuck waiting for that shit.
I feel it. So UFC, Israel Adesanya versus Paulo Costa is about to come up in a couple weeks. Who do you see winning that fight, man?
Izzy.
You see Izzy?
Yeah, but I'm biased. That's me being biased. I think Izzy has the skill to stay away. I think Paulo Costa is gonna run at him, throw some bombs, of course, but Izzy is trained for that. When you're a technical kickboxer like that, like the more aggressive people are, the easier it is to fight them. That's why Yoel Romero was so patient.
Yeah.
And then Israel couldn't do much because he's not gonna just. Yoel wanted to counter him. He wanted to counter him. So it was just a stare off. But Paulo's gonna come in, and I think he's gonna get clipped.
Yeah, I hope he does get clipped because that dude talks hell of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So LJ's of course is Paulo Costa team. Costa. His team. Anybody who's fighting is he's been Team Brunson. Anybody Izzy's fought, he's been on their side. So.
Well, that's how I felt first about Israel Adesanya. I was like, oh, I don't like this dude because he's like, I was like, oh, I don't see much from him. And when he fought Derek Brunson, I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna be like a real test because Brunson is a
the wrestler.
guy.
Yeah,
and then
wrestler too.
Once he beat him, I was like, oh, damn, this dude's a real deal. And
Easily.
then he fought Anderson Silva, and I was like, that's I don't really care. And then he fought KG, and I was like, all right, this is a test right here. If this dude beats Kelvin Gastelum, this dude's a real fucking deal. And man,
how he did it.
What a fight!
And how he did it. Yeah.
What a fight!
That's why I think that's what drew me into him was Anderson Silva is probably one of my top 2 all-time favorite fighters. So I used to buy his pay-per-views when just watching by my house when nobody was into MMA. When he's beating up Damian Maia, Thiago Lattes or whatever his name is. It was so long ago. Nate Marquardt, all these guys when nobody was watching. That's how far back I go with it. So Israel's always been like an Anderson 2.0 to me. Without the submissions, but Anderson 2.0.
Yeah, definitely. That's cool. That was a good card when he fought Kelvin Gastelum and then Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier, man, what a fighter, man. He's been having hell
of a years.
Yeah.
He had that one hiccup. Against Michael Johnson. Where he just got caught, which happens. And then since then, I really would like to see him versus Conor again.
Yeah. That would be different. I think it would be really different.
Yeah. I would really like to see. Yeah, I'd really like to see that fight.
But I think he's gonna fight Tony Ferguson. I want to see that. Yeah. I want to see that a little bit more than Conor.
I'm kind of.
I used to be a really big Conor fan when he was fighting.
Bro, I watched it. Yeah, I watched his debut. No, see, I'm before that, bro. I watched his debut, all that shit.
Yeah,
and it's like
when he fought Marcus Brimage and all that. Yeah. I think I became a fan of him when he fought I think Dustin. Yeah, when he fought Dustin, I was like, okay. And then after that, he fought Seaver, and then Mendez, and then Aldo.
Yeah.
But
see, I was a.
After that, he just fell off. I was just like, man, you're just talking shit now, and it's just like you're.
Yeah, and to me, defending the belt is huge.
Yeah, it has to be.
And he's strategically not defending it.
Yeah, he is.
And you know that because he's never defended a belt ever. Any belt he's won it, even in other organizations.
Cage Warriors, he never defended Cage Warriors.
Never defended. So that was when it was kind of like. But what I do, was when after Nate beat him, because I was a huge Ronda Rousey fan. My dog is named Rousey. She's like 6 or 7 years old. She's been named Rousey since Strike Force. like that. Like I'm saying, like I be catching people early, so she really let me down by how she went out.
Yeah, me
Like
too.
I'm taking my ball, I'm going home. Where Connor, when he lost to Nate, I guess he was calling and bugging, rematch, bugging. That's how you're supposed to fucking do it.
Yeah,
That's how you
absolutely.
do it. You come back with, I get, at the end of the day, it's marketing. I get what he's doing, but like, it's at this point, it's like, it got as big as Nate Diaz. Look, Anderson Silva and Nate Diaz, my all-time two favorite fighters. But it got to the point where I was like, Nate Diaz, shut up already or fight. And
Yeah,
like, I don't, like, not even with disrespect. Like, I'm not trying to, like, who am I to say that to fucking Nate Diaz?
yeah, yeah,
But as a fan, I'm like, just fucking stop getting my hopes up. I just want to
yeah,
watch you fight.
yeah.
Like, just please fight. I don't care who you're fighting. Just fight.
Yeah, another current event that's come up. It's kind of old news, but I wanted to see how you felt about it. Paige Van Zant, she lost her last fight, and now she signed to Bare Knuckle FC. How do you feel about her, and how do you think she'll do in that organization?
I'm interested.
Yeah.
And my bad about the rambling too, but I got ADD. I'll say a word, and my brain will just switch to a different
No worries,
line.
no worries. You're all good.
But anyways, yeah, I I think it's good for her. She's a striker. She's tough as fuck. Like, people can say what she want. I think she's more 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I
Yeah,
think
I think so too.
I think she has a lot of other endeavors where she doesn't need to be punched in the face over and over again. So I think that had a lot to do with it. Because I feel like when she was like on her shit, like she was doing well, but she was like 22 years old too. So it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but yeah, I think she's a gangster, honestly.
That was the thing too. I was like, her last UFC fight, she was fighting Amanda Ribas, and
Yeah, who's a
I would,
beast?
what's up?
She's a beast on the floor.
Oh yeah, Amanda
Amanda,
Ribas.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. But Paige Van Zant, I would go on her Instagram page and I look at her stories, and she was at Fight Island, and some of the other fighters there, like, was that the George card? George
Yeah,
Masvidal was Paige Van Zant
yeah.
on that card? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Okay, so you look at Masvidal's and Usman's, you look at their Instagrams, they're inside their, even though they're on lockdown, because when they came to the Fight Island, they had to be on quarantine lockdown. They'd be in their room and they were training, like hitting pads or like cutting weight or some type of deal. And then I look at Amanda Ribas's, and then she was like hitting pads, blah blah blah. All the fighters were hitting pads, and I look at Paige Van Zant. She's dancing, she's doing TikToks with her husband and stuff like that. I'm like, what are you
Yeah,
doing? I was like, what are you doing? You got a savage Amanda Ribas that is fucking ready to like take you out, and you want to be
yeah.
like. And then she was talking mad shit too. She was like, oh, like I make more money outside of the UFC, which I think she
Yeah.
does. She does.
No,
She
you
has
know
a
what I
pretty
think?
face.
Yeah, to agree with you, I think she showed her hand and she fucked up. Like
Yeah,
she was almost looking at it like, I'm gonna go be a free agent because UFC don't want to lose me.
yeah.
When
Yep,
at the end of the day, no matter how marketable you are, you have to win.
yep.
Or even if you don't win, you can just slowly go down, slowly go down, slowly. You know what I'm saying? So I see it from that point. I'm strictly she's tough, so. Like I wasn't the biggest Paige Van Zant fan,
Neither was
like
I.
that. But I respect her for her toughness. She's tough, but I think she's 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah, that totally turned me off of her because beforehand I was like, yeah, she has some striking and she beat the other Rachel
Uh,
Ostravis. She beat her and I was like, okay,
yeah,
I'm kind of like in it. But once I seen her and her story and she was just dancing and doing the
yeah,
TikToks, I was like, what are you doing? That you're at Fight Island.
yeah.
Get into fight mode.
Leaving Team Alpha Male.
Yeah, I was like, get into fight mode. I was like, you got a
I've
savage.
noticed a lot of people have left Team Alpha Male.
Why do you think that? Why do you think that is?
Um,
Because don't you know people from Alpha Male? Don't you know a couple, right?
like yeah, like I played video games with one of the dudes, but like a couple people I know that have trained there, but that was a few years ago, so it's like a different. That was when like TJ Dillashaw was like still there,
Yeah.
and maybe just after he left, like around that time. It was but I've noticed like Joseph Benavidez, different
Doesn't
corner.
train there no more.
Cynthia.
Calvillo trains at
Yeah,
AK.
yeah.
Cody
I
Nola,
think it.
even Cody, he trained with Mark Henry for a little bit. He's still
Yeah,
Team Alpha Male, but he was with Mark Henry.
yeah. I think. Yeah, he's still with Team Alpha. I just think it. Maybe they just got to their ceiling. You know.
Yeah,
That,
yeah. I think the only fighter I think that's still with them that like trains with them like religiously is Andre Feely, right?
yeah, yeah. Well, Cody goes back and forth. Cody's still
Yeah,
with them.
yeah.
Yeah,
Cody
yeah.
goes back and forth.
Because I think Danny Castillo is like the like Chris Holdsworth, Danny Castillo, like they're his coaches too in the corner. But I think it had a lot to do with those are all fighters, like former fighters who are still maybe developing as coaches. This is just my outside opinion.
Yeah.
Like I said, again, who am I to say that? That's just my outside observation. They're not seasoned coaches. Like, they're retired fighters who are coaching. Like, Feely goes to where he goes and, like, trains and striking with that top Muay Thai team from, I think it's, like, Dublin, California.
Mm-hmm.
They have, like, Gaston Bolanos and, like, the dude who fought Chilo and stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess.
So that's where they get their striking, with Feely and them get their striking. But I think Cody was trying to go get something else,
Yeah.
He needed to go. It looked good. He looked good his last fight.
Yeah, he did. So another.
Go ahead.
Go.
I got a question for you. How do you feel about Sean O'Malley?
Wow, I liked him. Not gonna lie, I liked him in the Contender series. I liked him.
Mm-hmm.
I seen his whole come up, and I was like, okay, this dude is After he beat Eddie Wineland, I was like, all right, this dude is he's a contender. But after he beat Eddie Wineland, I was like, but I want to see him against higher competition.
Yeah.
And then
I've been waiting for the Cheeto fight.
And that
Cheeto, supposed to happen a couple of times.
Yeah, and then that Cheeto fight, it was weird because all credit to Cheeto. He beat Sean O'Malley 100%. He kicked his leg, and that could fuck up your leg. But he got injured, and I would have liked to see more, I guess. I wanted to see more. And but Cheeto won, and then now that Sean O'Malley is kind of like acting out of character, or not, he's not acting out of character.
He's bitter. He's bitter.
Yeah, super bitter, and it's kind of turning me off a little bit.
Yeah, me too. Like when Dominic Cruz finally lost, like I don't know anybody who took it better.
That's why I love Dominic so much.
That makes you like love and respect people a lot more.
Yeah.
That's why like I could have protested and threw a fit after my last fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, Josh, why'd you throw a fight? He was like, I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry. And I was like, it's over. I mean, it is what it is. There's no sense of being a fool. I mean, live to fight another day.
Yeah. Going on to another MMA story. Khabib versus Justin Gaethje is coming up, and there's been some video footage of Justin training with Usman and other people. Do you think Justin Gaethje is the man to dethrone Khabib?
If anybody is, it is him. I mean, he's So, what's a wrestler's worst nightmare? In your opinion.
Striking. It has to be striking, right? Good striker.
Well, there's a couple levels to it. It can't just be a striker. You have, but a good wrestler with great takedown defense who can fucking crack.
Oh yeah.
So if Justin Gaethje can't do it, I'm not sure who can.
Yeah, I'm really pulling for Justin Gaethje to someone that. This is an unpopular opinion, but I don't think Khabib is like the best fighter. I don't think he's the GOAT. That's just me. I know a lot of people are like, "What are you talking about? He beat so and so."
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna agree with you on that because his resume is shit.
I agree.
Have you seen it?
I've seen it. I've seen all the fights.
It's a lot like no. I'm not even talking about UFC. Like he's 29-0. Don't get me wrong.
His other fights.
So check this out. So I'm not a credential nothing, right? And this is my fault. It's not. I'm not like, oh, he's a bitch for that. Like, no, they're smart for that. UFC doesn't pay attention to who you fought. Just a record. Like my last two opponents in MMA have had a combined 30 plus fights. Like counting amateurs.
Yeah.
I've had 4.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's my fault though. Phil was telling me not to jump. Like I fought at Tachi, where you become champion at Tachi, you go to the UFC. I made my debut there. You know what I mean? Like where I've only been an amateur for 6 months, So I took some risks. But with Khabib, he's fought a lot of dudes who are like 4-12, 3-8, 11-27. So, like, and his UFC resume is not all that great. He's beat Conor. I'm not Dustin. I'm not gonna disrespect Dustin. He's beat Conor. He's beat Dustin.
Yeah, but
who else has he beat? That's a world beater.
No one. Yeah, no one.
Nobody. He might have even lost to Gleison Tibau or Tibau.
That's what people say. Yeah.
I watched that fight when it happened, but it wasn't. I was still young too when it happened, so my attention span was shit, especially when it comes to that. I'm like, oh, these fucking guys are just literally wrestling.
Yeah.
The entire time. So I don't remember watching it. I don't remember judging it. I was kind of like, all right, let's get to the next fight. Like
Yeah.
at that time. At that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, to me, yeah, I think Justin could do it.
I hope Justin can do it, man. Because
He's I believe he's a Division I All American.
yeah, he is the NCAA, I believe.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I mean,
that dude.
with
That dude's a fucking cracker, man. That dude's
with one of the best coaches in the world.
Trevor Whitman. Yeah, that dude is savage. He trains Rose Namajunas and.
Well, he's an OG for a lot of like Donald Cerrone's.
Yep.
From back in the days too. Like, yeah, he was his coach when like the old Tap Out show came out. I was like 15.
Yeah. I was kind of worried about Justin because he had those 2 losses with Dustin and Eddie Alvarez, but those are world beaters too. But I was like, man. But when he fought James Vick, I was like, man, I hope you win because if you lose, that's gonna suck.
Yeah, I think it had a lot to do with him trying to live up to his hype.
Yeah.
I believe he wasn't fighting to. I mean, of course he's fighting to win. Don't like non-fighters or just people who just don't have common sense. They're not gonna get of course, like, oh, he's just fighting. That's fighting. But I think he was fighting for the fans. He's fighting for the show. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's put on a fucking show. Like, and I think when he lost those 2 fights, it was kind of like, all right, well, that didn't fucking work. You know? Like, you even hear with Ferguson, he's like, slow down. You're going too fast. Slow down. So he had to slow down. Boom. Just like little shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's so major.
Hell yeah. His coach is really cool too because his coach hand makes gear.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Joe Rogan experience with him and Justin Gaethje? And they test out the different things that are made from boxing gloves. So like a boxing glove that you get at like online or like a big fight or something like that. They put the padding on the table, and then this guy, Trevor Whitman, he made his own padding, and they dropped a big old ball of like a hard ball, and the stuff you use, like stuff that me and you probably use, that shit does not protect you.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. That's why I remember I was breaking my feet. I broke both my, and then like since 2000, since I started fighting, I was supposed to be co-main event for one of those. I think that's the camp we're kind of going in. I ended up breaking my foot. Actually, my fight in San Francisco had a fractured foot.
Oh shit.
So it's like so after that I put all the money from my last fight, my last MMA fight last year. I just put all that whole paycheck went all into like quality gear. That shit's important.
Yeah, man. I would say for any fighter, they should invest in that.
Also, too, yeah, I think women's gloves, your hands go like this too.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, they definitely need to figure something out because there's a lot of nasty eye pokes.
And their shin guard, it's, if you look at it, they have an ankle thing too. So it's like, if you notice with some shin guards, they don't really have the best kind of ankle thing. They kind of like go off to the side and stuff like that. Their straps on and like moves with it, and so like your ankle right here is protected and stuff like that. It's a quality gear.
Yeah, watch. I could grab my shin guard. I could show you like what it is.
Show us.
Yeah. We need 1 second though.
Yeah. Mr. Ryan Attebery is going to show us his shin guards and show us, kind of just the difference between bad quality gear that boxers and fighters use and kind of like a better quality type deal. Because if you're a fighter or a boxer, protecting your head, your body is so important. You want to live a long life. You want to protect your legs. You want to protect your knees, stuff like that. So, show us this gear.
So this one right here, see, what I love about this actually this protects your knee. A lot of shin guards are just strictly your shin.
Yep.
So this one it actually almost wraps around your leg.
Nice.
And then, so a lot of times where I broke my foot, right, it'd be like, you got shin guards on that weren't the best. I think you would use some of my original ones. So, there's like almost no padding on the top foot.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, so if you look here, there's padding literally from the toes, from the foot, the part where your foot and ankle meet, right there, right where the part where like Anderson Silva broke his shin.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's even right there. Then you got it all the way around to where like It literally wraps around. Like, look how wide this bitch is.
Yeah, it looks so much like better than the things I've seen, the things I've worn.
Yeah. Yeah, it was about $100 something, but bro, and then like my glove, like just this is one of my training gloves. It's
Oh,
pretty
that's
thick,
sick.
a lot of padding right there. So it kind of sucks when you're busting people up. I mean, I'm not trying to say that to sound cool, but it really I've had like some rough times getting blood off my gloves and because my headgear is, you know, my nose has been broken so many times it doesn't really bleed. So it's
Yeah.
like almost like I don't really get affected by it. Stats broke my nose with a rock when I was like third grade. So
Oh, shit.
I got that shit out the way early.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I've had it to where like there's just blood like in my it's hard to get off sometimes, especially because people got those virgin noses when they're boxing, and I'm like, you know how I am, like I'm nice, like I'm, you know, like as I'm punching you in your face, like you remember, like I'm like, this is how I punch you in the face, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like I'm not just beating you up and like feeling cool, like I'm like no, like don't do that no more. I keep hitting you.
Yeah.
You know, like I think I did the leg kick. I did a leg kick too, like 3 leg kicks in a row, and then I did the question mark kick, and then it was like that was when you're still early, still
Yep.
getting it. But like that setup, you just gotta kind of notice that shit,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, that gear, all that gear is fucking important.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think all
Yeah,
fighters
like
should invest in
like my
gear.
mouthpiece is like a $200 mouthpiece.
Yeah, definitely. You gotta protect your teeth, man.
Yeah, my second MMA, it's not even it's the jaw, bro. It's like fuck the teeth. Like shit, I'm gonna get veneers one day anyway. Fuck them. But not but it's really the jaw. So I really don't want to go in there again. But I would if you want me to explain it. So basically, I could do it like this. So a mouthpiece you get from Big Five, like the ones you would wear.
Yeah.
How they come in and out.
Yeah.
Which is basically that's what everybody gets. Like mine was the first one with the fangs, like all that. But
Yeah.
they're about that thin, right?
Yeah. Super thin.
So mine is about like that.
Nice.
So a misconception is that the mouthpiece is strictly for to not bite your tongue, protect your teeth, all that shit, right? Which is not true. I've had my back tooth knocked out with mouthpiece in. So
Yeah.
so but basically what I'm getting at is like the mouthpiece, it prevents concussions.
Really?
So so I'll put you on some game right now.
Yeah, yeah.
So basically, you got the thicker mouthpiece I had. After my second MMA fight, I got hit with one solid punch, concussion. I mean, I fought a bigger guy, given whatever, got a concussion. And it was after that fight, I was like, okay, now fuck that. I got to get a real mouthpiece, you know? So these ones are so thick that they actually click up. They mold them. They send you a pack, you got to mold it and send it back. So these ones actually click. So I can talk to you. There's nothing, you can't punch it out of me, nothing. And it comes all the way up here, basically.
Wow.
And it comes to back here. So you know where your jaw clicks?
Yeah.
Like when you get punched, it prevents that. You know, like you ever been punched and see the white light? Or hitting the head? Or like
Yeah.
hitting the head
Yeah.
and you just see like a flash. Just
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that flash. You don't get those with the real mouthpieces. With good mouthpieces, you don't get that. Man, I haven't been concussed. I haven't seen that flash. I haven't had those flash like moments since I've had that mouthpiece.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
I have been concussed, it's probably just from like accumulated beatings. Nah, but yeah, like even like bro, the difference in the mouthpiece is literally life saving.
I bet, man. I bet. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
See, I didn't really. I did notice that. I knew
watch.
a big five. I knew a big five thing would be sucky, but
Yeah, I'm gonna show you the difference right now. I got it in my house. I mean, I can move around.
yeah, no
Only
worries,
reason
bro.
I'm not in the house is because my dog is annoying. Now this guy. uh,
Who is that? Rousey?
nah, that's Rousey's son.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's Joker. I gotta find my mouthpiece. I just sparred yesterday. All right, so I got you. Got you now. I still have my old mouthpieces. I keep whatever mouthpiece I fought in, even though this is not the right color. But anyways, so you got this is like the one you get from Big Five.
Okay. Yeah.
So look,
Yeah.
nothing, right?
Yeah.
Given my teeth are fucked up, but that's neither here nor there. Then just look how thick this one is.
Oh wow. Yeah. That's wow. Night and day. Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah. So and then look, it's clicked. I can literally have a whole conversation with you.
Wow. That's
Like,
yeah.
yo, hey. And look how much it covers. Like it covers all the way up.
Yeah.
And it goes all the way to the back to where your jaw meets.
Yeah.
That's so you gotta take it off
It's hard
like
to
that.
take out. Yeah, it's hard to take out
Yeah.
too.
So this is from the mouthpiece guy. From the he does all the pro fight of Mayweather's. Like he's done a lot of people. So anyways, so when you get knocked out is when your jaw and it clicks.
Yes.
And it flashes off. This prevents that shit. Or it does the best like job to prevent that shit. Like people still get knocked out. You don't get me wrong, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's gonna do the job. I mean, you got to do your job too. But you're less likely to get broken jaw. The main thing, you're way less likely to have a brain injury. You're less likely to have a concussion. All based off that mouthpiece, bro.
Wow.
Like it's literally amazing, like what difference it made.
Yeah, definitely does.
Yeah. Just something. So I mean, just let me see if I could get you a comparison like next to each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. You could tell.
Just
Jesus
look how.
Christ. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and I swear to God, you'll be surprised how many fighters are using this. And they just don't know the difference. It's just a mouthpiece to them.
Yeah. I didn't know the difference myself.
But you got those gyms who don't. They're like we're MMA fighters, cool. Pat,
Yeah.
pat. Like with us, we fight.
Yes.
Like you have to be tough to be on our team.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah. So that protection. That's why I had to get that shit. Because a lot of times I feel like I'm just like kicked too hard for my own good. I'm breaking my feet. Last time I fractured my foot though, a month before the MMA fight, that was my fault. I was sparring a Taekwondo kid, and he just kept kicking me, and he wasn't kicking me hard though. It was just fast.
Yeah.
More frustrating.
Okay.
And like, so when you're training with your team, you're like cool, sparring. You don't want to hurt each other. But when you're going somewhere else and you're training and you don't know these guys, like you're fighting each other. You're trying to earn each other's respects.
Yeah.
So I just threw a fucking I didn't really know the distance yet. Like, oh, Taekwondo is different. That was my first experience with a Taekwondo dude. So yeah, he kept kicking me. I go to throw a hard kick, just a hard power kick. Checked it. Foot broke. You know what I'm saying? And then, but I'm still fighting Lima, so I started to fight. So it is what it is. That's why I started doing a lot of the power shit after with Daniel.
Yeah.
Was because I couldn't do the cardio. My foot was out. But a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know that, and I don't bring it up often, like because it's an excuse, like which it is. It is, but it's just a fact too, though.
I agree.
So
So would you advise like all MMA fighters to hey, if you're gonna do this, get good gear, protect yourself.
Any sport.
Any sport.
If you're worried about concussions and you're worried like football, maybe it's a little different because I think football is kind of more for like the biting of the tongue and stuff like that. But if you're gonna be getting hit, use this. Like if you're gonna it's literally the difference between having a concussion and not having a concussion. Just taking a shot and being protected. Because most of the time when you're fighting, you're biting down.
Yeah.
So whether you know it or not. So it's like it just depends. I mean, do you want to? It's like driving on the freeway without your seatbelt.
Yeah.
You want to get, you know what I'm saying? It's like risk is yours, or you can just put the seatbelt on, and if you get in a car accident, you still might get hurt, but you'll be fine. You're not gonna have no long lasting. You know what I mean? Your jaw's not gonna get broken.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you this. Sorry for cutting you off.
No, you're good.
I wanted to ask you this. I wanted to ask you this because I saw this in a podcast last night. It was Michael Bisping's podcast, and he said that he was talking about Anthony Smith, and Anthony Smith just lost, and he was talking about how fighters, like, even though they fight and they get injured and stuff like that during the fight, and you lose, it's such like it sucks because you have to live with your injuries afterwards, and that's your reality.
Yeah,
is losing and being injured. Sometimes it's a broken rib, sometimes it's a poke to the eye, losing an eye. broken teeth or broken whatever, you still have to live that reality, and you still have to live with the fact that, oh, I'm not going up in the rankings, or I'm not going to a bigger organization just because I lost.
Yeah.
But he said after you win, you don't give a fuck about being injured because you won. Do you feel the
Mm-hmm.
same way?
Yeah, cause so basically, do you know the history of my second fight where I slapped the guy?
Oh, the big guy, right, with the hair? Is that
Yeah,
the fight
yeah,
in the
yeah,
boxing
yeah.
ring?
The
Okay.
buff dude, the little buff dude, whatever.
Yeah.
So I fractured my rib prior to that fight, fucking around with my cousins, like not like just doing dumb shit. Me and LJ were jumping all of our cousins and just fucking around. So I didn't know. I wasn't that severe though. So, anyways, long story short, in that fight, first like 10, 20 seconds, I broke my rib completely in half.
Mm-hmm.
And I still ended up submitting him. I ended up gathering because I had him in a choke, but I couldn't twist because my body shut down. I was still new to like the whole fighting shit and the whole experience, so I was like, adrenaline will take over. The pain will be nah. Like there's nothing that can fix that. So after I submitted him, because it was like war. Like he almost got beat up after, like his family. Like you don't. There's certain things there's certain lines you don't cross, especially with us, because you're gonna have to fight us every time you see us. But so his mom or somebody even commented on my shit after, like, "How's that broken rib?" It's feeling great, right along with my win. Like winning is the only thing that matters, bro. Like I know I rambled, but it's funny that you asked me that because I lived through that bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
to where like
and being injured and then being on like a losing streak or something like that.
yeah,
How
yeah.
how does
So
that affect you?
I've been on both ends, you know.
Yeah.
So I've won my first two fights and I lost my last two fights. So I'm a lunatic, like I'm insane. So I don't get doubt. I know I can do it, and I know what I'm capable of, and I know what I haven't been doing, and that's working my ass off. I grew up doing whatever I wanted, so it's like no, I can't speak for other fighters because there's fighters who would just kill themselves, not literally, but mentally. I know I let my opponents win. So, and I know that me not being in the cardio shape I should have been in is why I lost my last fight. Whether the rest stopped early or not, it's neither here nor there. So, yeah, I think it's you can't have you can't put that doubt in. And if that doubt's there, then don't fight.
Yeah, 100%, man.
But it sucks. It's more embarrassing than anything. Cause it's like people don't want to hear like, oh yeah, but that was I'm supposed to start at lower level. I wasn't supposed to fight that guy. Like that shit don't fucking matter. Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you lost. Doesn't matter. You can fight 30-0 guy, and you could be on 30. If you go to on 31, you lost.
Yep.
So yeah, so I don't beat myself up to it over it no more. But like, cause my first loss, I didn't get injured. I actually was hurting him.
Yeah.
And I made a mistake on the ground, and that was all she wrote. So that one hurt, just because I'm like, all I had to do was turn this way and not
Yeah.
this way. Not have been fine.
Yeah.
So,
I feel it, man. I feel it.
so I've won with a broken rib, and even though that was hell, probably worst injury I've ever had, feeling great. And then I've lost with 0 injuries and feel horrible. So
Definitely, man. I feel
yeah,
it.
it just depends how you lose, I guess.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, I totally
my
agree.
second fight, we whooped each other's ass. It is what it is.
So, alrighty, so unlikely advice. So today I have an unlikely advice from this girl named Tara. She says, "Hello, Space Dog. My name is Tara, and I love your show. Thank you so much for doing the episode where you have your old teacher on. She's amazing. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. And yeah, her name is Miss Delgado. She's an amazing teacher. She does women's studies. Anyone should take her class. But I have a problem with a guy. I've been talking to this guy, and I really like him, but he is poor, and we can't do much sometimes, and I have to pay for the meals and dates. He works and is going to college, but I'm also seeing this other guy. He's nice to me sometimes, but he's also a dick to me. He has a job as a lawyer and makes great money. And when we do go out, he takes care of me and treats me to meals, drinks, and taking me to VIP clubs pre-COVID. I don't know what guy to choose. Can you guys give me advice?
So me and my girl have a similar situation. So basically, when I was younger, I was hella poor, and she was like a year older, well, half a year older than me, whatever. But in college, she had a little money. I would never tell her how poor I was. So when things would get too close, I'd kind of just break up with her, leave her, right? And then I ended up getting back with her, so I'm with now. And then you realize, like, building with someone is much better than, like, you get with that lawyer. Don't get me wrong. Go, that's cool. That's all good. Sounds like her heart's with the other guy.
The poor guy, right?
Yeah, and he may be poor, but he's not. She didn't say he was a bum. She said he's going to college. She said he's going to college. She said he's going to something. I just figure it's like, you could have. Would you rather have an average life with someone you truly love being with, or would you have just a fun life? It's cool. Like I've done both. I got 3 baby mamas. Like, I've lived. I've lived a little. So I don't know. I just feel like her heart is with the other guy. And I feel like the proof's in the pudding. I mean, the other shit's cool. I mean, personally, I would play it both still because you don't know.
But he said, I'll play it both, Ryan. Bro,
but if she's not like you're my girlfriend, you're my boyfriend. If they're not that, and she's just like in the middle, I mean, then yeah, play cards. Because what she loves to do with the money. Now you love him and he got money.
Yeah, that's true.
Because she sounds like, but she, people are a dick because they're insecure.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I mean, my relationship is healthy because we're very secure. There's a lot of respect. So I don't know. I would choose the poor guy. No homo.
Well, Tara, I have a question for you. Is who do you really see yourself as a person? What do you want in life? Do you want to be that rich person? Do you want to just be taken care of? Is that really the life you want to live? Do you not want to be? I'm not saying that you can't be independent, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing to date a guy with a lot of money. But if you say that this dude's a dick to you sometimes, and even though he does have a lot of money, is that really who you want to spend your time with and really try to invest all your time with? Because he's being a dick. Granted, you're going to the VIP clubs. Is that all you're worried about? But I don't know. If you love the poor guy, it sounds like he's going to college and maybe he does get a job or just the average job. Yeah,
Let me add something about right? So here's my whole thing. I won't say his name, but a very close friend of ours, at the time I had a good amount of, I was doing my thing. I had some money. And every once in a while I'd give him money or I'll hook him up. And he'd be like, why are you doing this? And I'm like, because I know if you had it, you would do the same. And to me, that's the biggest thing. Is the dude a bum and he just thinks it's cool to let a woman pay for shit? Or like, you know what I'm saying? Or is it like he really can't do it right now, but just wait it out? You know what I'm saying? And it's not about if he can't do it. Would he do it if he could?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the biggest thing I feel like. So that's me being mature about it.
Yeah, no, exactly. And yeah, if you say this dude's nice to you and he's treating you good and stuff like that, it's just you just got to pick and choose your battles. Do you want this rich guy, the dick, or do you want to live the party lifestyle forever? You can't live the party lifestyle forever. Forever. That's gonna go away. The parties and the clubs, that's gonna go away. Yeah. So
when nothing's on TV, you're not going nowhere, you're not doing anything, who do you have more fun with?
Exactly. So
I believe I learned that on Boy Meets World a long time.
Boy Meets World. Hell yeah. But yeah, Tara, honestly, I like the underdog story. I feel like I like the underdog. Go for the poor guy, even though he's poor right now.
Yeah.
I've been in the situation.
Stop calling him poor guy. We gotta stop calling him poor guy.
That's we do.
He's on his way.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. We've all been there, right? All of us.
Some more
you were there too, Tara. I bet there was a time you didn't have money. So
hey, that's a good point, because if she came from money and she had money, she wouldn't be impressed by money.
True that. Yep.
Some psychology for your ass, Tara.
Yeah. So Tara, I say go for the underdog.
Yeah.
Pick homeboy that's going to college and doing.
Who fucks you better? No, I'm just playing. I'm playing.
Who's got the better date?
Hey, that's good. Yeah. It plays a part.
Hell yeah. Well, Ryan, man, thank you so much for coming on, brother, man.
Yeah.
I love you, man. I miss training with you. I wish I could see you, man, and we could catch up in person more. We need to hang out more.
Yep, love you too, my brother. Next time when all this COVID shit's over, we'll link up and we'll do it again. What's crazy is when I thought I was coming today, I was actually going to bring a surprise guest. I was going to go get Micah.
Oh, Mike Adam. Yeah, how's he
Yeah,
doing? How
yeah.
is he?
He's doing good. He's living the family life, you know. He's literally like living like that's what he does. He lives the family life. He takes care of his family. Really
That's
can't
good.
really say nothing negative. He's living his life. He likes
I
it.
think I follow him and his girlfriend on Facebook, and they're just like they go back and forth and they talk
Yeah,
so much to each
yeah.
other.
She's more rambunctious and he's more laid back, so they kind of balance each other out.
No, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
They,
yeah,
they've
yeah, yeah.
always been like they've always been like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's how to me that's the best couples. Like
Oh yeah,
whatever you are, your girl isn't. Whatever your girl is, you aren't.
yep,
So
yep.
yeah, because you know when you're too much alike, that shit's just war. And then it's just like you're not teaching me nothing, bitch. No, but yeah, that's major though. You got to grow. Like my girls taught me so much, bro. Just because I was so ignorant to anything other than what I've known. So
Hell yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
but yeah, plays a major part. But yeah,
Well,
he's good. Everybody's
thank you
good.
so much, brother, man. I can't wait to see you fight again, and I can't wait to
Yeah.
train again. Hopefully, we could train. Maybe link
But
up and
yeah,
train.
yeah. If you're free, we kind of do it still Saturdays at 11. But also we do it randomly during the week. I can just hit you up. If you can make it, you can make it. If you can't, you can't.
Yeah, that sounds so good. Sounds fun.
Yeah, because it's really that random because we don't have a coach right now because of COVID.
Exactly.
So
I agree.
I get a text like, hey, 7 o'clock today. So I can just pass the message on.
Cool. Sounds good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good, man. Appreciate you.
Alrighty, brother. Alrighty, Space
Yep,
Dog
later,
fam.
man.
We're out of here.
Take care.